I have the tweet. He did say that.
In the speech, he said to fight like hell. And in the speech, he said that we need to go down.
I'm talking about his tweets. Why would a person put out a tweet to be peaceful if their intent was insurrection, Destiny?
Destiny got destroyed by Andrew Wilson as usual on a topic of J6. And Destiny's main point is that people showed up to J6 and with the intent of an insurrection. And Andrew is saying you can't prove it. And Destiny tries to say that, you know, our current number 47 told people to come on the 6th to stop with the certification of the vote. And Andrew continues to say that there's no way to prove it. And, you know, Destiny also says that Trump called people for, well, not Destiny, but Andrew says Trump called people for a rally and never told people to riot. And it also gets heated where Destiny shows his mouth going a mile a minute, but still Andrew says that Destiny fails to demonstrate that everyone was there for an insurrection. So we're going to watch this whole debate between Cuckamamie Destiny and Andrew Schultz with Myron. Okay, so if you enjoy what I share in this video, and also be sure to smash the like button, share the video for our Call Social Media, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification so that way you'll notify the future uploads and updates. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Who wants to kick it off?
I can kick it off real quick.
Okay.
So, Destiny, would you agree with me that the motivation for demonizing the opposition political party often revolves around calling them traitors, accusing them of treason, and pushing for, you know, some type of villainization that they are against the country, they are against you, they are against everybody?
For another debate, maybe, but that's not at all any of the subject matter here.
Well, I think it is. I think it ties in because I believe that the motivation for why you're claiming that the other side are a bunch of insurrectionists, though you have no direct evidence of this, and your own criteria is just that of basically a riot, that your motivation is just to demonize the opposition.
Sure, but this isn't a debate over my motivation. I could be motivated by 100 million different bad faith factors, and literally none of them would be relevant to this conversation. It could be the fact that the DNC actually paid me money to give this precise argument, and Kamala's on the phone with me right now, and it wouldn't have any impact on this particular debate.
I think it would be. I think that the motivation for why you're making the argument itself would have an impact on the debate. But I am willing to concede that if you just want to keep it to the material, we can. Let's move over to point 2 then. Point 2, you say resisting any law or interference with the course of a government proceeding wouldn't fit rioting itself. How does that not fit rioting itself? Of course it does.
Well, let's say, for instance, the purpose of a riot was because you felt like the law wasn't being enforced. It wouldn't make sense to call that part of an insurrection. Let's say, for instance, that let's say that there was a lynching of a person and you felt like the cops weren't, you know, upholding their duty or whatever. And so you decided to have a protest that turns into a riot, and you all show up with the goal of protesting and rioting because you felt like the law wasn't being carried out here. You wouldn't really call that an insurrection because they're not trying to contravene a legal process. Just because, again, you engage in unlawful conduct doesn't mean that you're trying to resist, like the implementation of the carrying out, resisting the laws.
That would be the same case with insurrection then. Insurrection would also require intent. right?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Yes. So the intent would be the contravening of the Electoral Count Act. When people say we need to march and make our voices heard on January 6th to the Capitol grounds where people are going to protest, they're protesting the execution of the Electoral Count Act, which demanded that Vice President Pence count the electoral votes. Donald Trump didn't want that. He made it very clear in the days preceding. Him, Bannon, Eastman, Chesbrough, and everybody else that was working alongside him, Sidney Powell, everybody else, was saying that we need to prevent Pence from counting the electoral vote. That was the execution of a lawful government function.
Yeah, but even if
an act, and that's what people are going there to protest.
Yeah, but even
against.
if all that's true, Destiny, it still wouldn't matter, because the events of January 6th themselves, the intent of the people could have just been to riot, not indeed to commit to any sort of treasonous insurrection activity. And you have failed to demonstrate this time and time again, how this actually would meet the criteria of an insurrection. Them showing up, and just like your take in 2021, right, when you say, hey, look, the damage would have been way worse if they had shown up with the purposes of actual insurrection or some type of 1776 mindset. This is the most armed nation on planet Earth. How in the world can you say these people showed up specifically in order to do that? That makes no sense, man.
None of this law, none of that argumentation was stuck with her. People they obviously showed up to protest the certification of the vote. They were called there by Donald Trump.
If it's a non sequitur, then you in 2021 were using a non sequitur when you made the argument that from the appearance of this, it could not have been an insurrection.
What evidence is there that Trump did that? Destiny keeps saying this in every discussion and debate and everything, yet doesn't offer any evidence. Destiny, just like the rest of the left, don't even show the ounce of evidence or proof that Trump said that, where he actually told people to be ready to go ahead and riot and stuff when he announced that whole rally at the White House. Now, the simple fact of the matter is that, that's the only talking point, and they don't have, whenever they told to offer evidence for it, they don't. They just pussyfoot around and stuff and then try to go ahead and provide a stupid argument. And Destiny here, he's already getting eaten up by Andrew Schultz and stuff. And Destiny, his words just can't help his argument because that little teeny mind of his behind that big microphone and stuff wouldn't even help him to go ahead and make a good argument as well as provide good evidence. How about I address that? Like, the fact that matters, Trump never said that. Trump never even told people to go ahead and get ready to, like, provide any, get ready to riot and everything. And we've seen that as evidence as of late.
2021 Destiny was incorrect because 2021 Destiny didn't have the historical context to understand an insurrection. If you want to bring him on here and talk to him, you can.
I am
don't
talking
agree with
to him.
everything that
You're
I said.
not
You're
you.
not. I am 2024 Destiny. I have learned more things. I have done more studying. I've read more papers, and I've done more research on this. There is actually a strong understanding of what an insurrection is, and there was a strong historical understanding of what an insurrection is. And the idea that a bunch of people were called on January 6th, the date wasn't a mistake. When Donald Trump sent them down there to protest, when he said we need Mike Pence to do the right thing, what was he talking about? He wanted him to contravene the law, and that's what people marched down there for them to do.
Donald Trump said 30 minutes before this began that this needed to remain a peaceful protest on Twitter.
No, he didn't. He never said that.
He did. I actually have the tweet.
Didn't.
I have the tweet. He did say that.
In the speech, he said to fight like hell, and in the speech, he said that we need to go down.
I'm talking about his tweets. Why would a person put out a tweet to be peaceful if their intent was insurrection, Destiny?
Why would a person call a protest on January 6th? What do you think they were protesting?
What do you mean? They call protest. People call protests all the time. That doesn't mean that the
We're not talking about other protests. I'm asking you, what was the purpose of the protest on January 6th?
The purpose of the protest was to go out and show support for Donald J. Trump.
For what?
Well, there was a variety of reasons. I think.
No, wait. Are you telling me we can't?
I'm going to give you a variety of reasons. You can't say no. Are you saying there wasn't a variety of reasons why people didn't show up?
Nope. I think there was one clear reason.
Oh, there's only one reason why everybody showed up.
10 seconds.
Correct.
10 seconds.
Okay. What is the one clear reason? There was not a variety of reasons. Some people didn't show up just because they wanted to see what was happening. Some people didn't show up just to support the president. Some people didn't show up because they really like to go to protest. Everybody showed up for one reason, right?
I didn't say everybody showed up for one reason. I said they were called there for one reason.
Guys,
that was to
Destiny's stupid. That's all I got to say about that, because the fact of the matter is he assumes that, Trump supporters showed up for one reason, that's to go ahead and do a riot, but it was actually for a variety of reasons, mainly showing that, they support Trump. And that's something that that Destiny, as well as others on the left, refuse to accept, and they often ignore. The fact of the matter is people showed up there because of the simple fact that, they want to support Trump. They also show that their votes mattered, and they also want to state that, Biden, we're much bigger than you think we are and stuff, and a litany of other reasons too. So that right there is something that Destiny can't really grasp and everything, and his cuck mind and everything. And the fact of the matter remains that Destiny will never understand that. He will always be challenged on that. He's been proven time and time again where, he's wrong about what happened on J6, and as well as other events and stuff that's surrounding Trump and his supporters. So that's why, he basically ate his own foot in his mouth on election night.
protest the certification of the election.
Guys, that is time. I'm happy to let this play out longer if you guys want, and add an extra minute to the clock. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, we can add an extra minute.
I'll add an extra minute to the clock, and this is still round one of the open discourse, but just try to limit it to 1 minute, and then we'll go into round two of it, and we can go from there. And if we need more rounds at the 5 minute mark, we can absolutely do that. So
I have a problem with him ascribing motivation to all. He says there's one clear reason why everybody showed up. That's clearly not true. That doesn't even logically make sense. He could never demonstrate in a million years that there was only one clear reason why everybody showed up. That's a nonsensical argument, Destiny.
That's not the argument that I'm making. If the
argument you made.
If the debate is whether or not January 6th is an insurrection, not did every single person on January 6th engage in the crime of insurrection, or did every single person on January 6th go with the intent to commit
why did you say there was one clear reason?
I said that there was a clear reason why people were called there, because there was. Donald Trump called people there to protest not on January 5th and not on January 7th and not in a random part of DC and not in a random part of the country. He called them on January 6th to the ellipses that was less than a mile walk away from the Capitol building, which is where he sent every single person after his speech. He called them there on the day of the certification of the vote.
That doesn't tell us their motivation.
Trying to pressure Pence to overturn the election.
That doesn't tell us their motivation.
That they need to go and protest for the lawful slates of electors to be counted, the illegitimate ones that he submitted, and people went there.
Even if I grant your logic,
violent behavior, and they managed to delay the certification of the election, which is exactly. So then, do you admit then that
no, I don't admit anything. Even if I grant your logic,
they happen to do every single thing that an insurrection calls for without actually engaging in an insurrection.
Guys, give me a chance to respond.
Real fast.
I not only do I concede nothing, but your logic.
We ran out of time on that round. So what I'll do is this. I can see that this is a dynamic conversation, and clearly it's going to go out the bounds sometimes of a time round. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and set the clock for 10 minutes. That completes round 1 of the open discourse. But I see that this is a dynamic argument, and me just stopping it randomly at 5 minutes would probably be stupid. So I'm going to let it play out. I'll put 10 minutes on the clock and have you guys go at it. Is that okay with both of you?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Destiny, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to interrupt you guys again like that. So I'll just go ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock, and I will start it right now. You guys, you could pick right off where you left off, Andrew. Yeah. Sorry about that.
So to respond, right, and I'll be more charitable with the time back your way now that we have 10 minutes, Destiny, but it's actually an illogical argument to make, to say, even if Donald Trump had some certain intent in his head, that would not mean that the people who were showing up for the protest had that intent. So the thing is like, for both ways, it's a double entendre for your own logic. Either one, you claim, wait a second, there's one clear reason everybody showed up, or two, no, there was no clear reason why everybody showed up. They had multiple motivations, even if Trump himself had a different motivation. This is illogical argumentation.
I'm sorry, but this would never be applied to anything. If somebody says, hey, guys, we're all going to show up.
That's not an argument either.
And I'm making the argument right now. If somebody were to make the call and say, hey, guys, we're all going to show up to go and blow this building up, and a bunch of people showed up, and then a bunch of them marched for the crowd, and then they all went, and a building got blown up, we wouldn't say like, oh, well, we don't know what the intention of the crowd was. We don't know what the intention of the leader there was. We don't know what actually happened there, because we can't divine the intention of every single individual person.
That's a ridiculous straw man.
We can say you can call it a straw man, but the idea that in order for me, okay, hold on. What would I need to show?
Hang on, let me respond to your first argument.
Wait, hold on. What would I need to show?
Wait, no, there's no spurging. Let me respond to the argument.
But you're not even letting me talk. You can respond to my argument. You
made an argument. Let me respond, and then
I got one better for that, because Trump never stated that we should go ahead and do a riot before the rally. Okay, all he did was say fight like heck and everything. That could have meant anyway, okay? And unfortunately, it led to what happened on J6, and I still think that's an inside job and everything. I mean, prove me wrong all you want to, but Destiny, on the other hand, it's like he asks the questions, but he can't really give any facts or anything that, any answers and stuff. So, and the fact of the matter is, Destiny's argument is just going out the window.
You can ask the second argument. I think that's fair. So when you're talking about this from a logical standpoint, when you say, oh, if somebody called and said, hey, we're all going to blow this building up, yes, I would agree that you could probably ascribe the motivation to it then. Can you show me a tweet or any type of anything from Donald Trump saying, hey, guys, show up, we're going to do an insurrection? No, you just made the shit up.
Okay, fine. So I can. So as part of Donald Trump's speech, I'll give you 2 quotes. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. And that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. Today, I will lay out just some of the evidence proving that we won this election. We won it by a landslide. This was not a close election. The first quote. The second quote, we must stop the steal. And then we must ensure that such outrageous election fraud never happens again, can never be allowed to happen again. When he says stop the steal, when they're at the Capitol building on January 6th, and when the election is being certified, what does stop the steal mean there?
Wait a second. So first of all, you're attributing to Donald Trump's rhetoric here something which he may not have intended. None of that actually shows or demonstrates that he was calling for an insurrection on the Capitol. You are just kind of ascribing that motivation onto it for the purposes of convenience. You have to show me there where he calls, like your example was, if I say we're all going to show up and blow up this building, that was your example, and then people show up and do it, we can understand their motivation. I agree. You have to show me where he says, okay, guys, we're all going to show up and do an insurrection. You can't then take words that don't say anything about an insurrection and say, but I think he meant that, though.
And this is why Destiny is a huge idiot. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have this particular topic. And also, if you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video for our across social media. And also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notifications so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.